Hi guys, in this video I will be walking around the old city of Jerusalem. I won't be giving too much background on specific sites, but rather I will be showing you around so you can see how Jerusalem during Corona looks like. I won't be adding any background music or fast forwarding through certain parts so that you can get a feeling of what it is really like here at the moment. I will mark on the timeline where I'm just walking without talking, so you will be able to skip this part if you like. Following the last videos I uploaded from the old city of Jerusalem, the video about the Church of the Holy Sepulcher and the Western Wall, I got loads of comments about how empty the city is during Corona, and I decided I'd like to document the city during the pandemic because hopefully this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Another thing is that I get many comments from people who want to see Israel, want to see Jerusalem, but can't due to financial reasons, health reasons, or visa issues. And this way you can see what the city looks like. If you haven't seen my previous videos, then do watch them as I refer to them in this video. I will provide links here and in the description below. As you can see, here in the area of Jaffa Gate, there are some people, some shops are open. Israel is opening up slowly. A few weeks ago, everything was closed and the city was really empty. We are walking down David Street. As we are walking along here, you might notice how many drain covers are there. Now that there are not so many people, you can see them all. The reason there are so many of them is that there is a lot of history beneath us, many archaeological layers, and they need to make sure that they have good access to each part and that when it rains, the water can flow freely. We are turning left into the Christian Quarter as we approach the Church of the Holy Sepulcher. One of the good things that came out of Corona is that they added these umbrellas as sunroof and painted the doors of the shops. In a normal year, large number of pilgrims come to Jerusalem and visit the Church of the Holy Sepulcher. Most find what they were looking for, what they were searching for, but some don't. I've had tourists who were disappointed by the church, saying that the church shouldn't be divided between the different denominations, that stones are not holy, that it is too crowded. They might be disappointed by the atmosphere, by the long queues of people waiting to kiss the stones, and I can understand that. There is a passage by Martin Luther that I like. Rather than walk around holy places, we can pause to look at our thoughts, examine our hearts, and visit the real promised land. As I see it, there are two promised lands, the one each person holds in their heart and the earthly promised land. Sometimes when the two meet, they fit, and sometimes they don't fit well together. When that happens, there are two ways to go about it. One is to say, this does not fit my concept of Christianity or Judaism. I know the answer. I know the way, and everything I see that I don't like is wrong. Or you can say, there are things I don't like, but maybe I don't have all the answers. And it is possible to have different perspective. In a way, I try to show you different viewpoints in my videos as well. One of the things I like about this channel is that I don't know who is watching. As a tour guide in Israel, you very often say what your group wants to hear. You don't talk about Jesus if you're guiding a group of Jews, and a group of Eastern Orthodox Russians will visit different places to evangelical groups from the US. Each individual connects in a different way, but all these individuals are connected to each other. If you really want to understand the time of Jesus, then you need to understand first century Judaism. And Jewish life as it evolved in the diaspora is very different from Jewish life in the Galilee in the 3rd century or in biblical times. I'm now approaching the church. I'm going to enter the church even though I've already made a video about it. as I want to have it in my video. The church is so empty. If you have ever been here, you know how different it usually looks like. Here is the anointed stone. Usually I go up to the roof from this door, but now I'm going to go the usual way that most tourists do. I received a lot of questions asking when people should come to Israel, and the honest answer is that I don't know. I am optimistic about summer, but as you know, all that can quickly change. Many of the sites are undergoing massive renovation and are closed or partly closed. The City of David, the Western Wall tunnels and the Tower of David are being renovated. You need to register in advance and come at a specific time to visit a lot of the sites. And as it stands now, in March, you need to be vaccinated if you want to go into a hotel. So I wouldn't jump on the first plane to Israel, but it is getting better. Here you can see the Church of the Redeemer, a German church. I also got a lot of comments about the video about the Western Wall and the temple, comments about other location of the temple, about what really happened to the Ark of the Covenant, and about the buildings that King Herod built. Now, I'm no archaeologist, nor am I a historian specializing in the time of the Second Temple, but I do follow what Israeli archaeologists say, and what I say is pretty much the accepted mainstream version of events. And I will also add that for the average tourist, it doesn't really matter whether the Ark of the Covenant was lost or destroyed, taken to Egypt or Ethiopia. The main story here is the Jews' connection to Jerusalem and the area of Temple Mount. Here is another relevant example from the church we just visited. A few comments said that Helena could not have found the real cross 300 years after events took place, and so this is all fake. So let's go with that, the most extreme opinion. It is all fake. Here is what we know for sure. The church was a Jewish burial site in Jesus' time. This building holds 1700 years of Christian history from different Christian denominations from 3 different continents. Where else in the world can you find such a thing? Nowhere. Now I'm walking down one of the main streets of the old city, Bet Habad Street. The Christian quarter is to the left and the Muslim quarter is to the right. By the way, if you want to enjoy the city and the sites as empty as you see them now, then I have a great tip for you. Wake up early. The Church of the Holy Sepulcher opens its doors at 5:30 a.m. Come before 8 and you will almost have the place to yourself. The Western Wall is open 24/7. I don't know exactly why, but if I have a say in the itinerary, then I try to come to the Church of the Holy Sepulcher early in the morning and to the Western Wall at night. I thought about finishing the video here next to the fifth station of the Via Dolorosa. This junction is always full of troops, as to the left is Via Dolorosa Street and to the right is the way to the Western Wall. And right now it is empty, but this is no place to finish a tour or a video, so I will carry on a bit further and show you one of my favorite places in the old city. אהלן. כל אחת. We are approaching the small western wall. Unlike the big one, this is not a synagogue, so men and women can be here together. While at the big western wall, it is traditional to write down your wishes and insert them between the stones. At the small western wall, I ask people to write down not their wishes, as we already spend so much time thinking about what we want, but rather what we tend to forget, the things we are grateful for.